Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Okay guys, so today we are coming back with a round 2 for family edition of Guess That Book by the Cover. And I have with me my brother-in-law Jacob.
Hey guys.
And his lovely wife Liz. So this is like Judge the Book by Its Cover spouse edition. So it'll be a fun one. The first book we have is Graceling, which you can kind of see unglared here, by Kristen Kashur. And I'm going to have Jacob start this one. What is this book about?
Alright, well, I can see an eye on the sword. Well, I think it's a fantasy book. Graceling sounds like it's got a girl in it that she's kind of graceful, but who knows? Like maybe a fairy type thing. The Graceling is the next level of kind of thing, and so they're special if they're the Graceling. Mm-hmm. But who knows? It's spellbinding, so I bet there's magic in it.
Spellbinding. Okay, Liz, what is this book about?
Well, it's a sequel, but I would say it is probably preteen, teenage age group. Probably has a little to do with the fantasy fiction with possibly demons and warlock, elves fighting each other. But I don't think that is a female in the sword. I think it is a male with blue eyes. A tragic love story.
A tragic love story. Tragic love story. All right. Special guest Mark is going to tell us about this since he's read this and I have not. Special guest Mark.
Graceling by Kristen Kashur. This is about a young lady who is graced with a special ability, as many people are graced with different things. Good cooks, good climbers, good swimmers, good killers. She is a very good killer, and that is her grace. But the king that she serves is kind of a tool, but she meets some other people along the way, and a lot of stuff happens that I feel would ruin it, that made it a lot of fun for me, that I actually enjoyed it. But definitely because of that and the fantasy world that it's in and what it's about, the closest would have to be Jacob.
Oh. Second book we have is Grave Mercy, and this is by Robin Lefevers, as you see. And this is one I have started and not finished, but I do know what it's about.
A kingdom. She seems to be a warrior type. Got a little bit of deception going in it, but I probably... it still has to do with a love story.
A love story. Another love story.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob.
Sorry.
What is the plot?
Okay. Grave Mercy. Why be the sheep when you can be the wolf? His Fair Assassin, Book 1. So, got a girl. She's kind of cute. She looks angry, though. She's got her crossbow. And it's Grave Mercy. So maybe it's a mercy to put these people on the grave. She's an assassin. You know, I'm just going to go with... You can see the castle in the background, so... I'm thinking she rises from wherever she is at, her lower station, and finds her higher calling to make her own way in the world, which is most books, but there's a romantic interest, but I wouldn't say it's an outright love story.
All right. Grave Mercy is not a love story. Basically, this.
But I love you.
But he loves you. There's the story. Basically, she is an assassin for death. She works for death. So she assassinates people that death wants her to kill. She does rise from a lower station because she has the mark of one who is like an expert marksman and fighter and that kind of person. She has a physical mark of that. She's been ostracized like her whole life. Like her father sold her. Like super uncool stuff.
Yeah, that sucks.
That does suck. But then she rises above it and she becomes an assassin for death. So I have to give this one to Jacob as well.
I'm not doing so well here.
Hey, but I'm rooting for love.
Next one we have here is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. What is this about?
Red Rising. So it says Ender, Katniss, and now Darrow. So I love Ender's Game. Katniss Everdeen, of course, from Hunger Games. So this has got a good character that's got to be doing something. I'm seeing a wing, so, you know, what, is it an angel or a demon, you know, something? Who knows? But red is also Mark's favorite color, so maybe it's just, oh, I like red, yay for red. But, which is also sometimes could be Russia, So I'm going to go, though, with somebody that's special. We're going to say he's a demon finding his way to not do bad things. Like, most demons, they stay bad and do bad things. And this guy decides he's going to do good stuff instead. And how does he find his way through a mess of being bad and becoming good? It's going to be my story.
I'd read that book. That sounds good. Okay, what's this about?
What is this about? I would say it's probably about an immortal who has fallen and is trying to redeem himself. Yes, you did point out the Ender and Katniss, all of that. So probably has something to do with some type of battle or somebody trying to take over.
Okay, I've only just begun this book. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to call for my expert. Expert!
Red Rising. This is, I would have to say, a sci-fi fantasy book. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a sci-fi fantasy book. It takes place on Mars, the red planet, and society is broken up into different color classes. So it's a caste system, actually. So you have the highest caste at the very top, the golds. These are humans, but all these humans have been kind of genetically modified over time. This is in the future, way in the future. And golds are like the leaders, the premiers of everything. They're the best. They lead society. Reds are all the way at the bottom. Red is the absolute worst. So Darrow, the main character, is actually trying to rise up, Red Rising, rise up out of his station to do a lot of heroic things. I don't want to spoil it. There are actually a lot of cool things in this one as well that I was very surprised by because I didn't know anything about it. But that's the basic gist of the plot, and eventually he is in a situation that is very reminiscent of Battle School and or the Hunger Games as well. The reason I'm going to give it, I kind of wanted to give it to Liz, but she didn't hit on any that was like, ooh, this. Jacob, the one thing he hit on is Darrow is actually, he starts the book as a hell diver. That is what he is known as. That is his job down in this mine. He is a hell diver.
Wow.
And so, Jacob wins that
All
one.
right.
Barely.
Does this mean I get to borrow it?
You should. It's good.
Can you read?
There
There are no pictures.
Hey,
in
there's
there.
no
I
pictures.
looked twice.
There's no pictures, buddy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, because that was so much fun, we're going to do another book with the word red in the title, and this is called Ruby Red, and this is by Kristen Gear. That cover's not going to give you much at all.
No, it's not. Has a clock on here and kind of an old-fashioned portrait about a girl, I wouldn't say peasant, maybe middle class. I'm gonna go with she falls in love with somebody out of her class and she just makes a better life for herself.
Ruby Red.
Ruby Red. We got a girl here, and I'm going to say Ruby Red. This is Dorothy when she grew up. Ruby Red slippers. She goes on an adventure to try to find the Tin Man. Tries to rise above her station to the Tin Man because he's obviously... Okay, maybe not. But I'm still going to go with Ruby Red. Dorothy, after she woke up, where did she go from here? What really happened after she came back to camp?
Okay, so Ruby Red is about a girl who is, this is modern day, this is totally modern day book, and she's like a 17-year-old girl, and she finds out accidentally that she can travel through time. She knows there's a time travel in her family, but they thought it was her cousin and not her, so they've been training her cousin all her life to like be prepared to be pushed back in time and to speak languages and do all this stuff, and so she doesn't know any of it, and then she just pops back in time one day, with her cell phone, mind you, and then records a bunch of crap. And then goes back to modern day.
She gets to bring her phone?
Well, she didn't know it was going to happen, so yeah, she had her phone on
I'm
her.
just glad it was charged.
I know, right? Or she didn't get stuck back there. That would suck too. This is a trilogy, so it's the first book in the series. It is pretty good.
Why
I really
Ruby
did.
Red?
There's a Jewel's Tone. The second one's called Sapphire Blue. The third one's called Emerald Green. So
Liz went with Love Story.
that's what I'm gonna have to say. Liz went with the love story. There wasn't a lot else that she really hit the nail on the head with,
But neither did he.
Dorothy, it is not. She's British. She's not even American. She's British. So this one goes to Liz. The next book we have is Furthermore by Tahira Mafi, and this is just such a beautiful book. I've tried to read it. I actually didn't enjoy it that much, but it's a beautiful book, and we're going to start with Liz.
Well, there's a lot going on in this book. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Alice in Wonderland. With the little door and the different characters and stuff. Also a little bit of a seamstress, kind of a traveler with the little boy here. Just a lot going on. Definitely more for the younger crowd. Probably not one I would just generally pick up and read myself. They are probably traveling through a country that they're not familiar with, what all the little maps are for, guessing. And they make a friend with this little fox. He helps them. But I would say it's all about exploration and adventure.
All right.
Well, what she said, but furthermore.
Nice.
Okay, so she's got a ton of bangles. She almost reminds me of like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. I'm gonna say that she's the main character. It's got to be some sort of magical adventure, similar to Alice in Wonderland, maybe. But the fox almost looks like a paper fox, the way the angles are and stuff. But that could be just this art. I'm really hoping that the artist for the cover actually read the book, because I think this could be really interesting. Some books, the illustrator doesn't
It's a beautiful
sell
cover.
it well.
It's gorgeous, which is why I bought it. I just didn't love it.
I think maybe she's somebody that finds out she has magical something or something special, and it draws her through this door and sucks her into this other world. Or perhaps this, I was going to say maybe this boy got sucked through, but no. She's the special one somehow. But we'll find out when someone else says. Furthermore,
by Tara Maffei. This book is a bit of an Alice in Wonderland retelling. A bit. Basically, this is our main character whose name is Alice, and she is in black and white, and she lives in a world of colors. Like beautiful, bright, brilliant colors. Beginning of the book, her dad is kidnapped, and she basically has to enter this world to go save him. And she has to ask this guy here, who she's not a big fan of, for help. So I'm going to have to go with Liz on this one, even though you both said Alice in Wonderland. Just a little more. And it's a middle grade book. So it's like designed for middle school kids specifically. So good job on that one. The next book we have is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Now, I haven't read this, so when it comes to judging time, I will call upon my merry little helper.
So, Elantris, the finest novel of fantasy to be written in many years by Orson Scott Card. I'm a big fan of his. We got Brandon Sanderson, who many of my siblings love, and I haven't read anything yet. I want to say it's sci-fi fantasy of some sort. Maybe more fantasy, but it looks futuristic. And you got a guy looking subtle. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe a little covert. Someone else. They're both looking over their shoulder at stuff, so I don't know here. All these orbs. I'm going to say Elantris is either a woman or a city, which is pretty vague. And we're gonna go with both. It's both a city and a woman.
Good. That's good. Do that.
And it tells the story of both of them. Either Elantris is the city and what's happening, what's going on. Don't buy that. Or the woman. Neither of it seems to fit. Something more is going on. Boy, this is tough because it doesn't say much. It just seems like Elantris is a name of place or a person, but I think it's a place. But there's a split in the city, so maybe something bad's going to happen to the city of Elantris, and how they save it. What catastrophe is approaching this land? What happens? We'll find out.
What happens?
If we read it.
Well,
I will read it eventually.
definitely a fantasy book. I would definitely say Elantris is the name of the city or place, not necessarily just the city. These two on the front cover, I would say, are in power of some sort, and they're trying to figure out how to help save their place from destruction. I don't necessarily think this is necessarily a crack in the wall. I just think maybe it's the way the lighting, because I think that's just extra picture of what's down here, just bigger. But I think I haven't read much of Orson Scott Card or any of Orson Scott Card or any of these, so don't really know what type of stuff they write.
But there's a love story. Sorry.
Can I hit him?
Yes. Don't ruin the book.
I won't. But there definitely is some type of battle going on.
I want to counter. I do not think that they are the people in power. I think they are players. They are the protagonists of the book, but they are not people of power.
Okay. Now I'm going to guess what this is about because I actually don't know either. Okay. I'm going to say Elantris is the name of a planet, not a city.
I'd agree.
And I'm going to say it's like a different planet. I kind of think it's like that city planet that they have in Star Wars. That's what I'm going to go with, like
Coruscant.
a planet that's Coruscant. That's all city. I'm going to say that these people have magical abilities. I'm not sure what is the driving force behind that magic, but I'm going to say that they have magical abilities. I'm going to say there's a force that is attacking this planet or threatening this planet, and then these people with the magical abilities rise up to fight that force. And I believe there will be a love story in there, but it'll be very minor and in the background. Okay, expert Mark.
All right, so just to clarify, we have Jacob. Did you say yes love story, no love story?
They just said no. Both of them said no.
He didn't say anything, and she said there is not.
I said there is.
And you said there is.
Yeah, a little one in the background.
Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Elantris follows mostly two main people that you want to follow, and then one that you kind of don't, because he's kind of a bad guy. Hrathen.
I like how he says it over here.
He is
The bad guy.
Hrathen is a Gjorn. It's like this big, almost a religious figure, really. He's a figure, and he has come to this city that is not Elantris. The other person that this follows is a girl named Serene. Serene is a princess who is betrothed to Prince Raoden, and she is doing this to save her homeland from basically getting taken over and attacked. So she's coming, and it's basically a political marriage. But she shows up, and the third main character that we follow has died. Prince Raoden has died. And this is very interesting because what they do is instead of like hauling you off when you die of this terrible plaguey disease, you didn't actually die from it. You are plagued with the Riode. That's what it's called, the Riode. And if you got the Riode, they're like, oh no, this is terrible. And they burn all your clothes and everything, and they throw you out. And it's as if you died. And they cast you, they banish you into the city of Elantris. Not a planet, it is a city, definitely.
Question is there romance?
So there's no romance there.
But people of power, which Liz calls.
Exactly. There's all political stuff going on with that. All three of these people's paths converge at one point. But it is a city, which both Jay and Liz basically said that it's a location in a city. But Liz was a little bit closer.
People of power.
Yeah, the people of power. Those are the main points, and so I would give it to Liz.
Yay!
But Steph's the hottest. She's so good.
Thanks. Okay, we are tied 3-3. So our tiebreaker is going to be The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. There's a lot to see on this book cover. Alrighty, Jacob. You are first, sir.
Alright, The Unexpected Everything. It's got a girl walking a bunch of dogs. Morgan Matson, author of Since You've Been Gone. She's outside an ice cream truck, but I don't think that's necessarily critical to the story, but who knows. So I'm going to say that this girl somehow inherited the responsibility of all these dogs. Something came along, knocked it off course. So let's say her dad, who runs the ice cream truck and adopted all these dogs, got hit by a different ice cream truck. So it's pretty sad at the beginning.
Wow.
But the cover's so bright. Perhaps it's just the discovering of where each of these dogs came from and the stories behind each of these dogs. And it's kind of unexpected to the things you find in people's past, dogs' past, where they came from. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right, a dog story. Liz.
All right, I'm going to say that her profession or job that she has chosen is a dog walker, and she takes care of all these people's dogs. The whole ice cream truck, I think it probably does have a significance in the story, otherwise they probably wouldn't put it on the cover. But I'd say she probably lives somewhere like in New York. Everything that happens to her is like the opposite of what she expects. She may fall in love with the person who runs the ice cream truck, not somebody she ever thought she would be a dog walker. She thought maybe she'd be a professional in some other aspect. I think she's just trying to figure out who she is and what she wants, but I want the dogs.
You want the dogs?
I want the dogs.
Dogs are great. Okay, Mark, would you like to guess? We have a
second bonus round.
Second bonus round. We have a second guess.
You got to guess on mine.
I did. Okay, what's this about? I told you what this is about.
Have you?
Yeah, I read this book and I told you what it was last summer.
Don't give him clues.
Oh, I don't remember any of that.
About dogs and ice cream.
This is she's either just out of high school or just about to be out of high school girl who got a summer job. That's why I think it probably in between high school girl who got a job walking dogs. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah. Okay, so walking dogs, and she meets this guy, but it's not any normal guy. She doesn't realize, and they don't hit it off right away because he's kind of shy, or there's something weird about him. But then he's like, oh wait, what? This intrigues me about her, and she's like, well, I don't know. And it's not a will they, won't they. It's a how their relationships develop. So it's a complete love story, absolutely, about these two. But there's something interesting about him. I don't want to spoil it. But there's something very interesting about him that makes it very interesting. The Unexpected Everything.
The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is a book that is about a senator's daughter, and he gets involved.
Did she just get out of high school? Is she in high school?
She is trying to remember. Yeah, she's towards the end of high school. She's towards the end of high school. I can't remember if she just started her senior year or she's about to be done with her senior year. But it is the senator's daughter, and he gets involved in a scandal, and so her summer internship that she had falls through the floor because they don't want to be touched by this scandal.
I remember this now.
But she loses her summer internship, and now she doesn't know what she's going to do with her summer, so she gets a job. She chooses a job walking dogs.
Since her
There
other job
is
fell
a love interest in this book, but
Yes.
it is not the driving force. The driving force in this is a girl and her 3 best friends. And basically...
And they are not dogs.
They are not dogs.
Oh,
They are
man.
female girls, like real girls, also in high school with her. So basically, it's the summer that she spends kind of learning who she is and why she has the goals she has. So it's pretty cute. I might have to go with Liz on this one.
I don't know that any of us said anything close.
I did.
I did.
She said she chose it.
She chose
After her
the job.
other job fell through, I don't know.
So I think I'm going to have to go with Liz. At least
Not me on this.
Closest.
fought.
No, it wasn't
I fought.
super close. It was the closest. So Liz is the big fat winner who's not fat. Yay! Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much.
Don't forget to like.
And don't forget to subscribe.
I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, so you will know where to find me then. Goodbye. Hey guys, this is Stephanie, and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks.
Keep it. You gotta keep that.
I could go stacks on stacks on stacks.
Don't do that.
You're not juggling.
Whoa!
I'm gonna juggle the book.
I'm